short little interview about your experience here at Coaching Minds. And I really appreciate you. I know you're super busy, so I appreciate you taking out these 10 minutes just to tell us and our audience a little bit about your time here at Coaching Minds. So thank you for being here today, Mike.
Thanks, Sam. That's cool.
Excellent. And the first question that I have is, what was it that attracted you to coaching?
I think it was just at the point where I kind of felt I was looking for something a bit different. I think it was that classic at the time. You're kind of going off in different directions. You're looking for answers. You know something is missing. You're not quite sure what it is, and there's a bit scattergun at the time. But I didn't really pursue anything. I just kind of recognised there was something there and tried to give it the space to come through. And then I guess through a series of events, personally, my awareness around coaching came through quite strong about 18 months ago. And it was just something I realised that would give me maybe the impact I was seeking, and which I felt has maybe diminished a bit on the back of my career over the last 4 or 5 years. So yeah, it was something that came out, and I think as well, you can't get much bigger impact in one-on-one, which coaching gives you, and ultimately you're helping a person through their own work get themselves to a better place. And what I'm starting to see through client sessions is the impact that has on them. It's really quite profound in doing that. So yeah, it's good.
Yeah, it's such a nice feeling though when you're in that space, you're asking those questions, and you see the difference in the client, whether it's just, it doesn't have to be them achieving big goals or big dreams, but just that understanding and awareness, that different perspective of themselves, and just the change that they feel in themselves through coaching. It's a really great feeling to make that impact,
Absolutely. And and as you said, it didn't have to be big things. Like I've done an exercise before, like opinion or fact, in terms of like thoughts or limited beliefs, and even just something for like 2 or 3 minutes spent on that, the awareness coming out of that at the end, the energy that the person had coming off the back of that and has since done is just, it's almost set them off on a different path altogether just through that one exercise.
Yeah, no, definitely. No, like the space, sometimes we're just so busy in modern day times as well. So much going on that we don't take that time to actually sit, reflect, to think about things differently. We're just on from one thing to the next, one thing to the next. And the value of a coach that can hold that space is just really great. So thank you for sharing that. And I'm just interested to know, so you found this bite, this desire to go towards coaching, of the feeling of, liking and wanting to make an impact. What was it, from all the other coaching schools that are out there, what was it that attracted you to Coaching Minds?
Being candid, initially it was the cost. When I first looked into it, as you know, when you kind of often highlight yourself, there's so much out there, good and bad, around that. I think initially, my initial exploration of coaching, looking around, the courses offered were, quite significant financial commitments of 4,000 to 6,000, varying in terms of what you get from it. And I think I felt a bit of pressure in terms of making the right decision, if I'm honest. I kind of sat on that for a while. Is coaching the right way I want to go? And then a friend turned around and highlighted it, or made me aware of yourselves. And I think, yes, the monthly subscription helped, but when I started kind of exploring the company and your ethos and where you align and your ethical approach, that's something that really resonated with me, because that's something I've tried to do in my career, is go with what's right, not what's easy in some respects. When working with communities or trying to deliver the best projects, it's my argument before with my work was we get the same places because we do the same things time and time again. So if we're really looking to deliver change, we need to do something different. And therefore we need to ask different questions. And it's just that kind of, I guess I saw myself in Coaching Minds.
So no, thank you for sharing that, Mike. I really, really appreciate it, and I appreciate that we resonate on a lot of different levels in terms of our values too. And I thank you for mentioning the cost piece, because the cost is a big attractor to a lot of people, but we get two different perspectives to that. Because we're cheap, we must be crap, and because we're cheap, it's affordable for people as well. So thank you for sharing that. And the reason why we designed this is because our mission is to make coaching affordable and accessible across the globe. And we feel, when you're asked to invest £4,000 to £6,000, how do you feel? How do you experience? How do you know what you're going to be getting in return for that investment? A lot of companies asking you to throw that up front without really showing or demonstrating what they can offer you. So, our subscription is you can try us and you can cancel at any time as well. So you can actually experience what we're about here at Coaching Minds. So it's the accessibility piece towards coaching. So thank you for sharing that. And now that you've been on our program for some time now, Mike, the question that I have next is, what are you enjoying most about the Coaching Minds program?
I think it's the depth of it, because you made a point there in terms of, and it's a really valid point, that it's that sometimes the stigma is the cheap and cheerful, isn't it? Buy cheap, buy twice, my partner always says. And I think maybe there was a bit of reluctance at first in terms of signing up and like, what will I get kind of thing. But very quickly, you could see there's a lot of depth with the modules, the training. I really like the community aspect of it. I think that is something I've missed in the last couple of months, and I'm looking forward to kind of picking up again. Those things are kind of settled a bit. So, yeah, I think there's that. And also, the ethical approach. You know what you're talking about, which I think is often something that's underrated as well. There's a lot of people out there who talk the talk and clearly resonates quite strongly on social media. But, maybe I resonate with that I'm somebody who often walk the walk, probably not with any personal favours in terms of doing it, but I was a firm believer that I needed to do that to deliver the quality projects I wanted to, which delivered real impact with the communities rather than a cheap and cheerful, which ultimately doesn't leave the impact or the outcome you want to achieve. So I think, and it's not just with me. I see it with a lot of your members. They say the same things of the quality of the support, the material, the brand of Coaching Minds. And, you rightly been recognised recently with a number of awards, but I can see on LinkedIn that there's clearly a lot of respect from people, EMCC and, ICF and that, for you as an individual, but also what you're trying to achieve with Coaching Minds as well.
Thank you, Mike. Thank you so much for those kind words. Lots of stuff there, yeah. Some people say that we're trying to be the Ryanair of the coaching industry. Someone messaged me that the other day. So I was like, quite not like that. You might have the Ryanair costs, but we've got a bit better service there. So thank you for talking about the service, because we do try and go above and beyond. And my personal philosophy is, if our coaches aren't succeeding in their practice, then we're not succeeding as an organisation. We're not here just to put you through a course and a program and off you go, see you later. We want to see our coaches succeed, because if you succeed, you're a representation of a brand, and we're succeeding together. We're really big on collaboration. And I love the coaches that we have in our community and how you're coming together, the conversations that are happening, the connections that you are making. I love to do more in person, but online it's been absolutely fantastic. So thank you for sharing that, Mike. I really, really appreciate it. And my next question that I have is around, and you can be honest with us, Mike, you've said a lot of good stuff so far, but would you recommend us to a friend, and if so, why? You're going to be our first no?
I lost you for about 30 seconds there.
Sorry, no, so that...
I don't know if it was my side or...
Possibly. Hopefully we'll see how this goes.
Okay.
But my next question that I have is, would you recommend us, so you can be honest here, right at this question that was you avoiding saying no here, no? But would you recommend us to a friend, and if so, why?
Absolutely. I think it was a challenge, actually, one of my first coaching sessions, because my client was saying at the time they'd looked at coaching and they found this really cheap offer, they could get something done quickly. And I think it was when I submitted and Adela came back saying, you did really well there, not to say anything. But in my head, I was like, yeah, coaching mind's really good thing. But I think it's, as you say, for me, it's the accessibility, but also what you get for it, and it's the community coming out. We're all on that kind of journey at different stages. And I think the fact that we're all kind of trying to achieve the same thing in the main is really high value and a lot of support. Of course, I got no others I can measure against, but I don't feel I need to. I've experienced it for 12 months, and I'd be quite comfortable recommending yourselves. No problem.
Well, thank you so much, Mike. That really means a lot to us. So thank you for sharing that. And now, the final question, steer away from Coaching Minds and everything that you've done in terms of connecting with us, and just to look for our audience, so people know the direction that you're taking in the next 6 to 12 months. But what are your current goals with your coaching practice?
So first, I want to get accreditation. I'm aiming for that in the next 3-4 months. And then I want to kind of take just 2 or 3 months to kind of think about what it is I want to do. I have a big affiliation with nature. I think it's really powerful in terms of, our connection as humans. I think it's been lost, if I'm honest, in recent years in terms of, our reliance on technology and kind of turning to technology for answers or connection, and we've kind of distanced ourselves from our surroundings. So that's something I want to I think my coaching is going to align with, and it's understanding how that works through an offer and how I develop that. So that's something I'm looking to kind of take on probably with the spring, because I'm actually finding as well that my energy levels align a lot with the seasons. Like coming into this time of year, I find myself starting to struggle to kind of be energetic. Swimming, stuff like that generally plummets. But then come the spring and the lighter mornings, I feel quite energized around that. So I want to kind of channel that energy where I can. I just want to I want to be more assured about my brand before I kind of take it out to a wide audience. But that's not to stop people getting in touch in the meantime. I'm still looking to develop. That will continue. But in terms of the brand and the company, that is likely to come the spring next year.
Excellent. It's brilliant that you're aware of that as well, how your energy levels shift from season to season, the adaptations that you're making. Really fantastic. It's great you're working towards your accreditation as well. So hopefully in 4 months you have your accreditation and you can invest more time into building that brand and getting that launched next year. It's looking really great when you're pulling together. So brilliant stuff, Mike. And I want to say thank you so much for your time in this short interview today. Really, really appreciate it. I appreciate the kind words. It really means a lot to us here at Coaching Minds. So, and thank you for all you do and all you give to the community. You're very active in our community. You're helping coaches think differently. You're contributing in our CPD club, you've gone through a lot of books, a lot of learning, a lot of understanding. So you're always giving to the community as well. So thank you for everything that you do for us at Touch Your Minds. We really, really appreciate it.
Cool. I look forward to getting stuck back into it. Could have had to focus on other things for the last couple of months, but hopefully I'm keen to get stuck back. Actually, I've missed it. So yeah, looking forward to picking that up in the coming weeks.
Yeah, excellent. Well, thank you so much, Mike. Thank you so much for your time. And we'll pop your Instagram into the chat as well, so people can reach out and to connect with you through this video. So if that's okay, so we can pop that in for everybody. So thank you for your time, and thank you to everybody who's watched this interview. Really, really appreciate it. Thank you.